Here you go. Okay, Silvio cleaned up the floor. And we got everything ready for Tomer. He was very fussy about that. Doesn't want anything anywhere near his stuff. So we neutered the plumbing on here, so this is getting drawers. It'll be just like that one, 3 drawers. That was nice of him to make that change for us. Here's all the hardware that Sally got, or at least all of the pulls and 1 knob. And Sally said all the pulls get centered within the shaker frames here. And the knobs, you draw a line like this and it goes right smack dab here. I've shown that to Tim. This is what the appliance garage looks like. So I actually think that will be decent. It'll easily be able to handle your water. And then need to talk with Murillo because we want to get a backsplash that goes to here. And I think it could be a normal 4-inch one, or it could come up higher and just touch the bottom of the window trim. It's all arbitrary. I'd leave a little gap, but who knows? We got the oven wired in and microwaved with it, so it's really nice. Nicer than what we have at home right now. You see we have real heavy plastic up with the zip wall blocking off the entire kitchen. Silvio did all this, and that's the rest of the appliance garage thing. So first thing, Tim is going to make sure that we completely cover all of the kitchen floor, and this time we can cover all the way to the edge of Tomer's stuff, whereas before we had to stop it short while they were still working on stuff. I guess you haven't seen the vanity, but here's the vanity. And then that's the drawer. He had to make a cutout, obviously, for the plumbing. And same thing here. And I asked, so did that work out okay? And he complained about the sink coming down too far and interfering. But no big deal. So I think that looks good. Juan got all the stuff painted behind the toilet. And then Tim and I haven't had the chance to make the mock-up of the equipment in here yet, but we will. And then he's putting the dimmers on tomorrow. We'll have 1 dimmer here and the other dimmer there for the upstairs lights you asked about. The dimmer here controls the 2 chandeliers. And then this is the living room. So that's the molding from the bathroom and the stair, the handrail, and a couple things. That's the Chicago vacuum cleaner. I don't know if you saw, but Tim had mounted the TV thing here and got that all wired up now. So we're all set for the cabinet. That's the, Tim put in the backer board, so it's all set for the guy to come in and tile. And then do some grout to finish that off. That is a little access panel, and the part is showing up tomorrow. That will be inside the cabinet, and that made all the wiring for what we had to do. If you remember all the yellow wires, that all made that much easier doing it that way. So I think that's all this. I don't know if you saw I had done this with the remote for the fan. This is the light switch that is for the receptacle I put in way on top here if we ever wanted to put any cool lighting along the bump out. That's what that was for. Let's see. So I put this back up. That's the mirror, and then some of your vases and stuff. But this should be all in good shape. We'll put up the other mirror tomorrow. They got raised by one. Tim just has to close that wiring up. That's the round mirror from our living room. And then this is the shower trim that Tim put on. And actually Murillo did not come back as he told me he would. And they have to just ease the back two edges of this so when we reach around to clean it, it won't be sharp. This is already polished on that side. So I put in a text to them. I didn't get to see if they responded or not. Juan and Victor cleaned up some stuff here where the switch plates, which are a little smaller than what we had, were exposed, and they fixed all that stuff. All the switch plates down here are changed. But like that, some annoying thing that has to get corrected. Yeah, he forgot the switch plate cover, but all of those are done. We have the TV mount ready for us in our room. And the trim back in the ceiling on the can lights if we ever want more. They're super easy to add. The remote for the fan will be just like how I did it in the hall. I'll put it right here on the blank thing. So when you walk in the room, this switch will control our lamps. And if you want to do the can lights, it's this switch. This is the rear floodlights. And I never have figured out what that one is. So we just left it. And then, I don't think I'm allowed in here, so I can't show you what's going on in here. Sorry. So that's this thing, and all the switch plate covers are done, and the remote for the fan, which includes your light switch, is here. And of course, this is magnetic. You may or may not know that. And we actually have a spare of that. So I think that's pretty good. These are all the tools. And then these are the cleaning supply boxes that I brought just this afternoon. Let me go up now. This will be where the dimmer is for the stair thing. Juan and Victor painted the risers again. They really look good. And we'll need they'll certainly need touch-up after move-in, but less than it was. I don't know if Well, they didn't take this paper off, so Silvio didn't touch this, but this also has never gotten dirty. Here's your closet. So look how great this turned out with the metal racks. Exactly like we had it downstairs, but more accessible. We have plenty of these things. I thought this worked out really well to stack two of them. There's one of them. Here's another that we could stack. Here's your gifts. And we can easily arrange the shelf. There's one more shelf I can add. But these work really well for your gifts. Those were guys' old tax things. And that's that other shelf, which we were using before. These are the light fixtures. I was experimenting with the glass. You and I bought clear glass, which I wish we hadn't. And the boxes got destroyed, so we can't return them, but we can always buy different glass if we want, or I don't know. That's just, we can probably line them with something to make that disappear. I don't know why anybody would want clear glass in one of these, but that's what we bought. Then this is a toilet, and then in here have that, all this. And I have some soft close hinges that we can install on these vanities, which I think will be a nice improvement. So that's all good. Richard, Tim's friend, is coming tomorrow with the trailer to haul off all kinds of cabinets and crap. So we'll be in good shape there. And then this is the new light fixture for over here in the guest room. So I think this looks really good. I put in matching bulbs, haven't had a chance to put the fixture back on, the glass. So overall, that's what the new house looks like. And I'll see you here in a bit. Bye.